A huge area of the state is now in flames.
These 4 fires alone have burned territory now bigger than the city of Atlanta, and the strong worry is that is about to get worse. Overnight, the Thomas fire in Ventura County closed in on the town of Ojai, burning around Highway 33.
I was expecting, this year to see snow on that mountain, and now the thing's on fire.
Powerful Santa Ana winds gusting up to 80 miles an hour are making these fires extremely dangerous and very unpredictable.
Unprecedented is right, Gail. 4 large fires are burning north and west of Los Angeles. The threat level index is red in Ventura and Los Angeles counties. It was raised to purple in some places. That is a level that has never been used before.
Winds subsided Wednesday but have picked up again, fanning flames across Southern California.
Devastated, and every friend we talk to is in the same boat. Where
the flames are now out, often nothing is left. Kat Merrick and Chris Corsones returned to their home on the Ventura hillside. It is now in ashes.
The photos and the mementos and the family heirlooms, they're gone and they're not coming back.
As the Thomas fire inched towards Santa Barbara County, this man pulled over on the side of Highway 1 and rushed to rescue an animal. The 405 was closed for hours near the famous Getty Museum Wednesday as the Skirball fire crossed the freeway.
I go over here, the whole mountain is on fire.
In Bel Air, the same fire ripped through multi-million-dollar homes while firefighters on the ground worked away. Here in Los Angeles County, more than 1,500 people are battling the Creek Fire. 250,000 people have been evacuated and more than 12,000 acres burned.
I'm numb. I don't know.
Judy Hoffman Sanders lives in Shadow Hills, where the fire has already destroyed her house.
The house was just wonderful. I don't know what's going to happen. I have to sit down.
And Judy Hoffman Sanders actually lived right on this property. To give you a little perspective on what's happened here, this is what the house looked like before the Creek Fire, and you see exactly what it looks like right now. About 50 miles northwest of Los Angeles, the Thomas fire in Ventura County forced new evacuations overnight. It is the largest of the 4 fires, and it's only 5% contained at this point. And David Begnaud is on the fire lines in Ojai, California. David, good morning to you.
Jeff, where we are right now, winds are actually carrying the fire toward Ojai. You've got flames that are burning on the northwestern side of town, the northern, and parts of the eastern side. The area of La Conchita is under a mandatory evacuation. The winds are starting to pick up. The smoke is pretty unreal in this area. In fact, just recently we saw a wall of flames that had to have been 300 feet or higher. You know, the LA Fire Index, LA Fire Burn Index is the highest it's ever been projected. An extreme reading is 162. You know what it is today? 296.
We watched as this home burned down last night, and you can actually see what it looked like as firefighters battled to beat back the flames. It's just one of about a dozen homes that burned in this fast-moving fire that still has not let up.
As the fire spread from home to home, firefighters worked endlessly to stop it in its tracks. Fierce winds above 35 miles per hour carried embers through the air, putting more than 1,000 structures in danger. At first, this crew had no access to a hydrant, leaving them with only 500 gallons of water to try and contain the flames.
When firefighters came across this home, it was already burning. You can see they're putting a lot of water on it right now, but it's hardly doing anything. At this point, they're just trying to keep the flames from spreading.
The Lilac Fire in San Diego County exploded to more than 4,100 acres in just a few hours Thursday.
These are fully involved. There's nothing we can do about them. We're going to let those burn down to the ground. We have crews surrounded this whole area. We're going to make a stand, and we're going to protect all the ones that we can.
Several homes in this community were incinerated, while others just down the street were untouched. The Lilac Fire is just the latest in a string of fires tearing through Southern California since Monday. Officials are concerned shifting winds expected today could cause the largest of those, the Thomas Fire in Ventura County, to scorch other communities. At least 439 structures have burned so far in this fire. Back at this horse training center in San Diego County, people were forced to set hundreds of thoroughbreds free from their burning barns. They say about 25 horses died while trying to escape.
Big concern in California right now. The sun is up for another day. California's governor declaring a state of emergency in at least 2 more counties. That makes 4 since Tuesday of this week. Those fires expanding into the San Diego area. And look at those aerials. Engulfing 6 square miles in a few hours, destroying homes and buildings and at least 1 horse ranch. And Robert Baer, director of the Fire and Aviation Management for the U.S. Forest Service, with me now. Robert, can you hear me? And good morning.
Yes, good morning, Bill. I can hear you.
I want to start in Ventura County, just north of L.A. That seems to be the greatest concern now. Is that right?
That's right, Bill. The Thomas fire is in the vicinity of Ventura County. It's significantly impacted the population of Ventura. It's over 115,000 acres right now with only 5% contained. The challenge, Bill, is it's doubled in the last 24 hours. And it's going in 3 directions.
Why did it double? Is that the forecast? Is that the winds or something else?
It's the winds. Wind-driven wildfire is exceptionally challenging to deal with. It blows. That area has what's called sundowners, and also you're familiar with the Santa Anas in Southern California. But the wind-driven wildfire creates a wicked situation for us. It's a challenge with aviation, and it's a challenge to get containment around it. We contain the fires by cutting the vegetation off and removing the fuel from it, and basically snuffing it out by getting around it.
Wicked indeed, as you say. Down in Bel Air, the Skirball. That's threatening homes that, as you know, they are tens of millions of dollars worth.
Absolutely. The Skirball's in L.A. County.
Yeah, go ahead and tell us the status of that, sir.
So that's about 19% contained, so they're having some success with that. They have an incident management team there, and there's still a lot of homes threatened. That's in quite a unique area, as you said, kind of in an area adjacent to in the LA basin near Santa Monica, and with an area of wildland within the LA basin, and not on the adjacent outside areas like many of these others. And so that poses a risk to a lot of homes in that area.
Yeah, I'm looking at the forecast. I'm told there's no rain in that forecast for at least a week. I don't know if that's right or not, but whether it's true or not, I don't know if it's the rain that's the issue. Granted, you will take a lot of moisture, but it's whether or not you can get the winds to die down that seems to be so apparent now as we look at our first live picture of daybreak in Los Angeles. Robert, answer that.
Correct. So what we find is with low humidity, that dries out the vegetation and makes it like a tinderbox. And then when you have human-caused fires, as these all are, they're not related to lightning or anything, then the wind whips up the fires and makes them very difficult to contain. And that causes a challenge for us on the ground as we try and bring in both aircraft and crews to get around them.
You say human cause. What does that suggest? Does that mean these fires were set? Robert, were these fires set intentionally? Is that what you're saying?
No, we're focused right now. I'm focused on getting containment, getting the crews in there, getting the aircraft in there, and getting the public out of the way. So we're focused on life and safety and protection of the public. Law enforcement's coming in to determine what the cause and origin of these fires were, and that's an activity that's going to go on to make sure that if they were however they were started.
Guys, let's take that picture of Travis and get an update from him where it's, oh my gosh, it just looks so much worse for you now, Travis.
Hey, yeah, we got to put the mask on here because we are, of course, directly inside the smoke line here where the fires continue to rage, and actually a pretty surreal, massive evacuation effort is going on. Those are, of course, the fire from the Lilac Fire, and these are ranch hands and folks here trying to rescue more than 500 horses which have busted out of their stables. They're apparently all over the San Luis Training Center here inside North County here. We're told a lot of horses are scared. They're running throughout the racetrack. People are trying to get them evacuated from here. I can tell you at least one person has been injured here. We talked to a man that had been kicked in the face by a horse he was trying to rescue. I'm going to take you over to this way. You got a lot of emergency crews here. You have Cal Fires, of course, here. You got Oceanside, San Marcos. They're all trying to make sure that they can get some of these fires out, because over on this side, they have barn structures on fire. They have several of the barns here that do not have horses in them, thankfully, but they are on fire. Crews here are trying to put them out. You got over here some people taking a break. They said they're going to try to rescue as many animals as they can here, but realistically 500 horses that are not in the places that they should be is going to be a very tall order. Again, that black smoke you're seeing is from a structure back over there. That is a barn that is fully engulfed, to my understanding. There's actually a palm tree just above the Thoroughbred Club. If Adam wants to tilt up and we can see this, or maybe you can't because of the height differential, but there's a palm tree that's going up here right now. So this is a very hairy situation. The wind gusts are staying 30, sometimes 40 miles an hour here. We're dealing with a pretty hectic scene, but again, a lot of emergency officials are here trying to make sure that they're able to get these animals and people rescued here. We did see another woman that was transported via golf cart. She was wrapped up by some folks being escorted by fire. We don't know her condition, but she seemed pretty banged up from what we saw. So potentially 2 people already injured here, but just a really surreal scene. But again, they're trying to evacuate people and horses here at the San Luis Training Center. Guys?
Travis, do they have fire crews right there? We see that building. You mentioned there's a barn right behind it, but are there fire crews prepared to save that structure that's right there next to you?
They're trying to put it out, but they're also trying to make sure that the fire that is west of us, or I guess I should say inland of us, that is working its way, they're trying to concentrate their efforts. They got a lot of different sky cranes dropping just probably 500 yards from us. The structures are seemingly a loss at this point because it's already in the hills. It's making its way further west.
We're going to get more information now from Tom Krushke, Public Information Officer for the Ventura County Fire Department. He joins me now by phone. Tom, you're with us?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Good morning and good afternoon here on the East Coast. We are thinking about you out there. I want to know what the shelter situation looks like now, because when you move upwards of 200,000 people, whether they're heeding evacuation orders or going on their own, what does that look like for the resources that you're deploying right now?
Well, we got a lot of good cooperation from the public in following our evacuation orders, so that enables the firefighters to get in and fight the fires, engage it where they can do that safely and effectively. The shelters have been operating. We have about 6 of them operating during the course of this fire. Right now, the populations are starting to drop down, and we're kind of in a transition phase. We're looking where we can safely allow people to return to the burn areas.
Okay, talk to me about where this is spreading, because I told our audience from what I could see on the map, and I'm familiar with Santa Barbara. I went to college up there at UCSB. So when they started evacuations, mostly that was for smoke. But tell me where this fire line stretches with these 6 different fires. We've got a map up for people, too.
The main areas of concern on Thomas incident right now are up the California coastline right near the Ventura and Santa Barbara County line. They're also northwest of Ojai. The fire has hooked around the Ojai Valley itself and moving up into the Patilaha Canyon area. Also to the east between the cities of Santa Paula and Fillmore, the fire is moving up into the Los Padres National Forest in those areas. Those are our 2 main areas of concern.
High winds, die down a little bit, and it's supposed to get worse over the weekend. What will that look like in terms of what you need? Are you getting other states to help you out? What's happening?
Resources are coming not only throughout the state of California, but also from other states. We have over 3,500 people assigned to this incident. as you have been reporting, the fire weather conditions, they've kind of laid down a little bit today, but we don't want to become complacent because, again, those winds are predicted to be coming up again throughout this weekend and even possibly another wind event on into next week. So we want people to continue to respect those evacuation orders that are in place. Although conditions are improving momentarily, we don't want people to start going back into the area until we allow them to and it's safe.
141,000 acres chewed through. We're looking at pictures of some of that on camera right now. And of course, Tom Kruschke, Public Information Officer, Ventura County Fire Department, joining us by phone. As you look at this, what has this done to this portion of your state?
You know, it's been destroyed, it's been damaged, it's been devastated. We have seen fire conditions and fire damage like we haven't experienced before. We've had wildfires, but the damaged and destroyed structures, that has been kind of overwhelming for us.
Uncontrollable wildfires are still raging in California tonight, where more than 200,000 people have been forced to leave their homes. Strong winds expanded the size and scope of the largest fire, pushing up the number of structures destroyed. Californians are facing an unprecedented fire threat there. Tonight, we take you live to California. Stu Mundell with our sister station, KCBS, has been covering this blaze. He's joining us from the KCBS chopper. So, Stu, what is the latest there?
Well, the latest is they're talking over 90,000 acres have burned. The number of evacuations, you said it, in the 200,000s, and that is so many people. This fire, the one that we're looking at right here, is named the Thomas Fire, and it has been burning since Monday evening. Now, it has moved through many, many towns out here, smaller towns, larger towns. An area in Ventura, they lost an entire community out there. Over 150 homes on a hillside have been destroyed. What we're looking at right now is where the fire is basically moved to. In this 90,000 acres, this is going to be the most northwestern corner of the fire. The town that is closest to would be Ojai. And actually, Ojai seems to be safe right now as the flames are moving up a hillside out here into the Los Padres forest. Now, this fire has burned for almost since Monday, and it has taken out so much acreage. Now, the fire department, they're down there. They've been doing structure protection. They've been saving lives, and they've been keeping as many of the homes safe as they can. Right now, though, this fire continues to move. High winds, definitely a factor, but in this case, the picture we're seeing right now, this part is probably more a terrain-driven fire as it's working its way up into these mountains here. You can see all that greenery. That's fuel for that fire, and it will continue to burn up into this forest, which stretches for miles. Right now, the Forest Service, they're probably going to be bringing in aircraft shortly to start putting down phos-check lines, but this fire has been burning unchecked for so long.
It's just unbelievable, and you've been there reporting on fires for years, so you've seen a lot when it comes to wildfires. But have you ever seen anything like this? What struck me about this group of fires is that they're so close to the actual city of LA, some in Bel Air and other places.
That's right, Rudave, and you know, it is true. We've covered a lot of wildland fires, and they're so different than what we've been seeing recently. The fires this year have become so close to homes. You were talking about the one in Bel Air. That destroyed a couple of homes in the Bel Air area, and also it was affecting freeways. I'm going to kind of pan up and push in to show you an area that this fire has basically worked its way through. You can see a lot of green down there. Excuse me, that actually is going to be the Ojai area. That part is actually going to be safe. Over in this direction over here is the area that it burned through. Now, this is not that populated, but there are a lot of ranches out here, a lot of homes. On the other side, on the southern side of the fire, that's going to be Ventura, the city of Ventura. So that's an actual town out there, and that's where a lot of those evacuations happened. The fire ripped through that area, taking out homes as it went through there. This is a very different type of fire behavior that we have seen out here in Southern California. The homes always very close to these hillsides, but we've never seen the fire get so close to these homes, especially down here in the Southern California area.